So the past life regression that almost didn't happen. Um, so a young lady reached out to me because it was last year, I believe, because her mother had passed. She wanted a psychic reading, and she wanted me, I'm a medium too, and she wanted to reach out to her mom. So as a rule, when I do psychic readings, I let the clients know that I don't ask for anyone. Whoever is in your energy around the reading and they want to come forward, that's how, I can say your grandma's here, your uncle's here, your aunt's here, blah, blah, blah. So that's how I do that. I just don't go asking for anyone because I don't know them. So I don't want to be calling a spirit through and I don't know them. So I was telling her, I was like, well, when did your mom pass? And it was just like recently. I said, I'm not going to do that like right now because I think you need space and you need to heal. And to be completely honest, I did not want to. And she knows this too. And I was honest with her because as an empath, I feel the weight of the trauma, the pain, and I just did not want to feel that. Like, if she was distraught, I didn't want to feel that. I didn't want to go through that with her. And so I told her, okay, well, I'll think about it. Give me some time. So a couple of months later, reached out to me again. I still was not ready. I said, it's still too soon. Time is what we need. A couple of months later, I was feeling bad, but again, I just didn't want to experience that amount of pain and that amount of trauma. And so I told her, we're not going to do a psychic reading, but I saw us doing a past life regression. And, of course, past life regressions cost more money. And I just said, it's fine. It's going to be on me since I see this past life regression that I'm going to do this past life regression, not this psychic reading. And so I said, but just give me time. So it by the time we did the past life regression, I want to say it was half a year, maybe a little bit more. Not quite sure, but maybe a little bit more than half a year. And so we finally meet and we go over like what she wants out of it. She just wants to make sure, her mom is okay. Her mom's soul is okay and she's doing fine. That's it. She just, her mom passed away in a horrific way. They were together and the mom had a massive heart attack and passed away in front of her. And so when I'm like, okay, well, what life do you want to see? So she wanted to see a life where her mom were together and they had a good life. I said, okay, we can do that. Then I was going to take her through the dying process so that she understood and could feel what it feels like. I think I've talked about it before, like when the soul leaves this body, what happens, and just the relief that everyone talks about, and just being done and no more pain, no more suffering, and just clearly moving on. And so I was going to take her through the dying process, and then we were going to go to the spiritual realm, and we were going to contact her mom and see if her mom could come in. That way she could actually experience her mom and get to talk with her mom. Past life regressions never they never go as planned, every now and again, but usually is something weird happens. So look at my back seat. I had my dogs back there, so I have the covers back there. So anyway, take her under. We get to the life, and I say, okay, where are you? And she's like, I'm in my living room, my old living room where I used to live with my mom. And I'm going, so it's this life that you're looking at? She goes, yes, which isn't unusual. Sometimes when we visit past lives, they show you this life. There's something in this life that you need to see. So there's not even a past life. They want you to address something in this life. And so I said, okay. And she goes, okay, me and my mom are sitting down and we're eating dinner. And she goes, it's it's the time where, she died in front of me. And I started panicking. I'm going, oh my God, I had waited all this time so we can avoid trauma, and that we could heal. But here I am, I'm taking her right back to the scene, at that time, that trauma. And I panicked. I was going to snatch her out, do something else. And I had to get my breath, catch my breath, and realize this is not my show. This is something that her soul wants her to see. Her guides want her to see. I'm just a facilitator. I'm just a tap. So I had to get myself under control. Got it together. And her mom was there. And her mom was actually able to talk to her. And she had some questions for her mom. She wanted to know how her mom was feeling. She wanted to know what her mom was thinking about in those last moments. And it was so beautiful, so beautiful. Her mom said that in the last moment she was thinking of her. She just wanted her to be happy. That's all she was thinking about. And her mom was saying how she was proud of her now, how she's with her now, and how she's always with her. And at that moment, it was healing, because that moment was so traumatic for her that she actually needed to go back to it before it happened and actually sit and talk to her mom. So it was beautiful, and it did need to happen. But oh my, I was like, oh my God, we are not doing this. We did that, and we spent a considerable amount of time there. And when she was ready to leave, I left it up. I let her sit and ask her mom all the questions. I didn't want to disrupt this moment because I didn't know if she would ever get back to this moment. Let her stay there, ask her mom's questions. And then when she was done, I'm like, okay, well, we're in this life. Is there anything else you want to know about this life? And she's like, okay, I want to know, what am I going to be doing? We fast forwarded a couple of years from now, and she's living in Ireland doing something, working at a magazine or something in Ireland. We toured her apartment that she's going to get. She was like, I want to see the apartment. We toured it. She's like, okay, am I going to meet a soulmate? We saw her bumping into her soulmate on the street. She saw what he looks like, saw his name. And then I'm like, okay, I'm nosy. I want to see, what other people in your life are doing now. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to call them. And she was calling them. And so that was really nice. Of course, we did not go see her death. That's not what we're doing. If we are seeing a current life, we're not experiencing your death. That's just not going to happen. So I didn't want to go any further. We just went a couple of years out, and that's where we ended up. And so it was actually turned out to be such a healing session, such a beautiful session, such a loving session that, so that was the past life that almost didn't happen. But it was the psychic session that never happened, but the past life that almost didn't happen.